Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in to Wlbt Plus. My name is Kara Shirley. I am your digital news desk host, and we are currently waiting for a press conference to begin from Jackson Mayoral Candidate and Senator John Horhn. Should be starting here in just a moment, and actually, it looks like it is going on. So let's cut to it.
Our supporters, our business communities, church congregations, neighborhood associations, and others who came out in record numbers, citizens from every part of Jackson united together to create this collective outcome. People from different races, socioeconomic backgrounds, incomes, and cultures came out to support John Horhn for mayor of the city of Jackson. We won every ward. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We won every ward. We won 79 out of 82 precincts across the city, showing that we have support from every part of Jackson. It's clear the people of Jackson want change. They want change. And they selected John Horhn to bring that change with these numbers. We want to send the message that it is clear that the people of Jackson are ready for new leadership and to work together to rebuild our city. Amen. My plan over the next few weeks is to focus on listening to all voters all over the city, people who supported other candidates, and attend community meetings. This election is not over. It is not over. And we need your support. We need your support for this upcoming runoff election in 3 weeks. Please be sure to mark your calendar for April 22nd and vote Horhn in the runoff election. Thank you very much. Thank you. I'd be happy to answer or respond to any questions anyone might have at this time.
Senator, just what have these past 2 days been like for you and your team following the election results on Tuesday?
Well, we've been shoring up the things we did very well. Obviously, we did a lot of things very well, but there are always improvements that you can make. And so we're working to refine our get out the vote effort, our canvassing, what we're going to be doing in terms of communicating with the citizens of this community. And we're going to be dealing with every part of Jackson in as engaged a manner as possible.
And so what can people expect to see from you and your team over these next 3 weeks?
We're going to be all over the city, meeting with neighborhood associations, meeting with residents one-on-one. We're going to be shaking hands, getting to every corner of Jackson that we can, and we're going to just try to present our message. And our message is this: we need to restore trust and accountability in this city. To our taxpayers, our citizens, to our county, our state, our federal government. We need to put together an assurance that you can get basic services in the city of Jackson if you're a resident here. You don't have to roll the dice to see if you're going to get somebody to answer your phone call down at City Hall. We're going to put together a comprehensive plan. A plan of action, because the old saying is, if you don't know where you're going, any road will take you there. Right. Jackson needs a comprehensive plan. Amen. And we're going to work that plan and make sure that every corner of Jackson, Mississippi takes part in the development of that plan. And then we're going to prioritize it and then work the plan.
All right. Mayor Lumumba has said that his campaign is about making sure our city remains our city. There's been a little controversy regarding your collaboration with maybe Republicans in the state, people in the state legislature, and people feeling like if you become mayor, you're going to sell out Jackson to the state. What is your response to that?
Show me the proof of that. Show me in my past any example of that. That's my response to that. We won every ward in Jackson. We won every ward by a 2-to-1 margin. The people of Jackson are tired of this stuff. They're tired of the mess that we're seeing in this administration. We want change. They want change, and we're going to bring them change.
Are you concerned about the fact that people people coming back out to vote in the runoff election? Are you
Well,
concerned about
this race is going to be won or lost on he who can bring out their voters to return in the runoff to vote for that candidate. We believe that our ground game is going to be better than the opponents, and we're going to get our people back out.
And so, how do you go about getting the votes from the? How do you go about getting the votes from people who voted for the other candidates?
Well, we have begun the process of reaching out to other candidates. We're having some productive meetings right now, and we'll continue to have that. And then, if necessary, we'll go to the folks who supported them and seek their support.
And so, for those who still may be undecided on which way to go on the 22nd, why should they vote for you for mayor?
Listen, 83% of the people of Jackson say they want change. Look at the numbers. Amen. We have almost a 50% margin of victory that got us to victory without going to a runoff. That's a mandate, in my opinion. We have the momentum. We have the views of the citizens that say that only 17% like what's going on with this current administration, as reflected by the vote, and 83% say they want change.
All right.
And so, if elected, what are some key issues that you want to tackle and address?
As I say, we're going to restore trust and accountability first. We have to. And the very first trust and accountability relationship development and improvement has to be with our citizens, has to be with our taxpayers, has to be with the folks who pay the bills for the city employees in Jackson. That's the first thing. That's job one, restore trust and accountability. Make sure that we can establish and have the certainty of getting basic services that you as a citizen ought to be entitled to without having to go ask somebody. And the third thing is developing a comprehensive plan of action so that we'll know where we're going and how we're going to get there.
One more question, Terry. How has your relationships in that state capital prepared you for these kind of moments right now?
You know, if you're a legislator, if you're going to get anything done, you have to be able to work with people. People who don't think like you always. People who don't look like you. People who don't share the same political affiliation or philosophy that you do. We can work with anybody that's willing to work with us. And we've been able to demonstrate that over a 32-year period. And we've got results in the ground in Jackson that demonstrate that. So we're not worried about being able to work with people. We can work with anybody if they're willing to work with us. And we expect that will only improve and increase as we go forward. All right, thank you very much. And if any of you reporters would like a copy of our statement, we can email it to you. Just let this young man know over here. Thank you very much for coming.
Thank you.
That's it. That's it.
And there we have it. Let me turn the volume down for you guys. I just heard from Senator John Horhn, I apologize, Senator John Horhn doing a press conference following the Democratic primary that happened on this past Tuesday, where in that he received a vast majority of the votes that came in. According to the numbers that he just said, he received 83% of the vote for here in Jackson. Well, some of the things that he spoke about during this press conference that he just gave was talking about calling for support from all of the citizens. There is the runoff election that is coming up on April 22nd. And typically in runoff elections, one challenge that any candidates have is getting people to get back out there to the polls and vote again. So he's calling for the support of all citizens to get out to the polls again on April the 22nd. He states that as he is moving forward, what his plan is going to be, between now and the 22nd is engaging in every part of Jackson, with every part of Jackson, talking to neighborhood associations, going and speaking one-on-one with residents, meeting them face to face, shaking their hands, being listening to them and what they have to say. He also talked about one of the main things that needs to happen if he is elected is to restore trust and accountability in Jackson, not only to citizens, but to the state, to everyone, to restore that trust and accountability to everyone in Jackson. And he said that citizens won't change. According to what he said, was if you look at the votes, citizens are ready for a change, and he says he will make sure that the positive change happens. He does believe that his ground game is better than his opponent, his opponent is incumbent Mayor Chokwe Antar Lumumba. He would be running against him. And he said he is also in the process of reaching out to the other candidates who ran on the Democratic ticket, which is he has a lot of people to reach out to if that's the case, but says that his plan is to be reaching out to those other candidates to garner their support so that hopefully he can win over the people that voted for him, or for them rather, in the primaries, and switch their votes to vote for him, for Senator Horhn, on April 22nd. He also talked about having momentums, and they already have the momentum based off of the percentage of votes that they received in the general election. And someone asked, also said, how did you being a legislator translate to you being able to be the mayor of Jackson? He said that when you work with the legislator, you have to work with people who don't look like you, who don't think like you, who don't believe like you. You have to be able to work with them, and that is something that he is going to carry over into being mayor should he win on April the 22nd. So let's look at some of the numbers that did come in, comparing between what Senator Horhn received on the primary election day and what Mayor Lumumba received on election day. I have those numbers pulled up for you right here, and you can see all of this on our website, Wlbt.com. Anthony Warren did a story breaking down a lot of the numbers. In the press conference that Mayor Lumumba gave after the unofficial numbers came in, it was around 10 o'clock on Tuesday night, he stated in that press conference that one of the reasons why his votes were so low would have been because there was a push to have Republican voters vote in the Democratic primary. When we looked at the numbers that we received on all of the votes that came in from all of the precincts, from all of the ward, that actually would appear to not be true. So it looks, looking here at this thing, it says that, this thing, goodness gracious, Kara, looking at the story, it says that even with the Republican votes, even if we took those out of the equation, if we go to the wards or to the precincts that are vastly, usually historically vastly majority Republican voters, even if you took those votes out of the equation, that Senator Horhn would have still won in those areas, or rather he would have still received more votes in those areas. But he did, in fact, win all 7 wards in the city of Jackson. The numbers here, as far as the votes go, for Ward 1, Senator Horhn received about 3,300 votes, a little over 3,300 votes, and Mayor Lumumba received 498 votes. Ward 2, 2,053 votes for Horhn, 1,021 for for Lumumba, which was actually his top performing ward in the primaries, was Ward 2. That's where he received the majority of his votes. Mayor Lumumba did. So Ward 3 was a little over 1,400 votes for Senator Horhn, 674 for Mayor Lumumba. Ward 4, 1,591 votes for Senator Horhn, and 799 for Lumumba. And Ward 5, 946 for Horhn, 510 for Lumumba. Ward 6, 1,041 for Horhn, 512 for Lumumba, and Ward 7, 1,946 for Horhn, and 253 for Lumumba. So if we scroll down, Anthony Warren did a great job on this story, looking at the numbers, doing the math, which I am not sure that I would have been able to process all of those numbers and all of the math. But it says that, again, even if the precincts that were historically vastly a Republican voting precinct, even if we removed those precincts from the tally, that Horhn still would have won. He, of course, he did win in those Republican precincts, but taking those out of the equation, Senator Horhn still would have received the majority of the votes in the primary election. So again, there is the runoff that is coming up. That runoff is coming up on the 22nd of this month, and there is a runoff between the Democratic ticket and the Republican ticket as well. So for Democratic ticket, the runoff is, of course, between Senator Horhn and Mayor Lumumba. And the Republican ticket, the runoff is between Kenny G and between Wilfred Bill. So the main thing is whoever you're voting for, make sure that you get out and you vote. Go and vote in this runoff election, because it is going to be a very important election. Even though, it looks by all accounts that Senator Horhn could believe that he has a full victory ahead of him. The only way to fully know that is going to be on April 23rd, after all the votes are tallied. And the only way for that victory to happen, whether it be for Horhn or Lumumba, is you guys getting out and voting and making your voices heard. So whoever you're going to vote for, make sure you get out there and you vote on April 22nd. Again, if you would like to see the story and the breakdown of all the numbers, we also have the complete list of unofficial let me get it pulled up for you guys here. Hold on one second. I have different buttons that I'm having to press here. So if we also have the full list of all the different votes that was received for all of the different candidates and all of the different precincts. So there's a lot of precincts here in the city of Jackson. Of course, there's only 7 wards, but there are a lot of precincts. We have that information all on our website, so you can go and look at the numbers, crunch the numbers yourself if you want to, and just look and see who voted, who received what votes. So that is going to be on Wlbt.com. Make sure you go and check that out to look at all that. Like I said, Anthony Warren did a great story on all of that. Looking here at the comments, you guys have got a lot of comments here. They're going in fast. So I'm not going to pop anything up on screen, but you guys, appreciate all of you making all of those comments and talking to us here. I always enjoy at least getting to look at and hear what you have to say. So again, Senator Horhn held a press conference today. Not sure if Mayor Lumumba will be holding one or be holding another one. However, if he does, we will certainly cover that here on WLBT Plus. But again, recapping what he said, he is calling for support of all citizens to go out and vote on April the 22nd. He says that his plan between now and the 22nd is to get out and engage with every part of Jackson, to speak with the residents of Jackson one-on-one, to talk to them, to listen to what they have to say and what their concerns are, going forward for the city of Jackson. He stated that his number one priority, should he be elected mayor in the for Jackson, is to restore trust and accountability for the city, not only with the residents of the city of Jackson, but also with the state and just the surrounding areas. So to restore trust, accountability, and also transparency for Jackson. He says that he is reaching out to other candidates, the other candidates that were in the primary election. Like I said, there was 19 candidates total, I believe 19 candidates. I know there was 19 candidates running total for Jackson mayor, but for let's see, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 candidates total on the Democratic ticket for in the Democratic primary. So he says he's going to be reaching out to those other 10 candidates to try to garner their support, to have their endorsement, so that he could possibly get those that voted for those other candidates to switch to his side and vote for him. Again, Senator Horhn did receive in total 48% of the votes in the city of Jackson on the primary. Mayor Lumumba received, looking here because I don't want to say this number wrong. I'm not seeing it quickly here, so I'm not going to hold you guys up for any more, but you can find those numbers on our website, wlbt.com, and in the story that Anthony Warren wrote. But Senator Warren did receive 48% of the vote. And the reason why we are going to a runoff is because there was no one that received 50% plus one. So it sounds crazy when you think 51%. No, not 51%. 50% of the vote plus at least one more vote. So final verdict here for today is to make sure you go vote on April 22nd. Make sure you get out there, have your voice heard, place your vote, cast your ballot for the candidate that you believe will serve Jackson the best, and let your voice be heard. Another thing that you want to make sure gets heard is our meteorologist, which will be here at 2:30 today, and they are going to be giving you a detailed look at the prediction for the storms that are expected to come through this weekend. We are issuing a first alert weather day for Saturday night going into Sunday morning. You want to make sure that you're a part of that you're listening to that, so you know what to expect when the weather comes through. That's 2:30 today. First Alert Weather Team is going to be in here. And also make sure you tune into our newscast tonight, because Quentin Smith, one of our great reporters, was out there today at the press conference getting information from Senator Horhn. I'm sure he's going to be speaking with him one-on-one again, but also they're asking questions, and he'll give you another consolidated breakdown of the press conference that happened, as well as all of the other great stories that we are covering today. So make sure you tune into our newscast later today on air, 2:30 today here on our digital stream for the First Alert Weather Team, to look at your weekend forecast and just have a great weekend. I will be back on Monday at 1:00. I hope to get to see all of you then. I hope you all have a wonderful and a safe weekend. Bye-bye.